hands on him, and we was really hoping, maybe we wish that would have been last night. We was hoping today. We hope tonight. We hope tomorrow. But this effort is not going to stop. We've already got all the arrest warrants. The Commonwealth Attorney here has prepared that, looked over that. Everything's in place. So if we do lay hands on him, that we will take him into custody. So if he's watching, it would be his best interest to surrender and turn himself in. Hopefully, no more harm to no one else, or to the residents, or to our officers.
Sheriff, you seem to believe pretty fervently that he is still armed. I'm curious, was there any evidence that you found, maybe a second caliber round or something like that would indicate that this individual is carrying a
No,
firearm?
we're going on what we've been told, and like I say, it is open investigation. I really can't elaborate on that, but we have been told that. As far as knowing, we've not laid hands on him. We've not recovered no other weapons. That's just what we've been told, that we're passing on to you.
Can I ask, what do you mean that's what you've been told?
We've been told by some outside sources that he could be armed, but we're not revealing that. We don't know. We cannot verify that. Like I said, we've not laid eyes on him or contacted him. We don't know, but we have been told. And that's the way we're going to treat it,
But these are sources, I'm sorry. No, but these are sources outside of, when you say outside sources outside of law enforcement?
Yes.
Do we know how he obtained the AR-15 firearm that he used, and how many other weapons he hold?
He obtained a firearm at a local place here in London, but it was obtained, legally. He went through the ATF. He went through all the proper paperwork, and we have the paperwork. We have that paperwork, copies of the receipts. But that was obtained, if you're not a felon or something, if you can go in and you can fill the paperwork, anyone can purchase the guns.
When was that?
That was yesterday.
Around what time this evening did the active search conclude?
I think it was after dark, right at the edge of dark. But when you say conclude, it's like last night. At dark we did conclude, but KSP had choppers up with FLIRs. We had drones with FLIRs. But it was right at dark today.
How big is the search area, and how much has been searched?
I have somebody else will probably have to answer that. It's huge. And that area, I know you guys have heard all day that it's just really, really rough terrain. A lot of cliffs, mountains. It's really rough terrain. But I don't know. Has anybody got a better? There's thousands of acres. I can't tell you exactly how many. There's just thousands of acres. Yeah, it's a big area, very secluded.
It runs into the national forest also. So.
A lot of national forest land.
How many people were searching?
I would say 150 plus. I don't know if you can say actively searching. We have a lot of supervisors, that's there, but probably the ground crews, I'd say it'd be safe to say, Captain, 40 to 50, maybe on searches, just a rough estimate. I can't give you an exact number, but a large group.
What time will searches start tomorrow?
Probably we're going to be meeting in the morning at 0800, and searches will start shortly after that.
What can you share about his background?
I'll have to let somebody else speak on that.
He's originally from the Knox Whitley County area, and he does have a military background. He served in the National Guard for at least 4 years, and he was a member of the Engineer Battalion.
You guys mentioned that this area is large. Can you describe the terrain? Why is it so rugged?
I'll explain why last night was. So if you are getting off at exit 49, if you're coming southbound on the interstate and you look to your right, there's a cliff there. Okay. And that cliff has a ledge on the top, and it has a ledge about 30 feet down. He was on a ledge about 30 feet down from the top of that cliff where he fired from. And that's characteristic of that entire area back there. So in order for me to find that this morning, when we located that site, I had to grab a tree and lean over and look. So that's impossible to do in the nighttime without falling off a cliff.
So aside from exit 45, are you guys canvassing any other areas?
I'm Master Trooper Scotty Pennington, Kentucky State Police. I'm the Public Affairs Officer here at the London Post. First, I want to thank everybody up here. The Sheriff's Department, City Police, ATF, they have worked tremendously hard at this effort. And this is why they've asked us to come in and help with the manhunt. There's no way that they can continue to do this and do it safely. So we've got 16 posts around the state police, and we've requested troopers from several different posts to come in and help with this manhunt. Around 1,600 hours tonight, Sheriff's requested the Kentucky State Police to come in and help with the manhunt. We activated around 20 to 25 troopers from other posts and our post. And about an hour after that, we went in and searched a very, when you say large area, for walking in a jungle, because that's what you're basically in, it's a large area. I mean, you actually need machetes and everything to get through these thickets of woods. And, you know, you can't do it very fast because you don't want to leave no rock unturned, and you don't know if he's in that area. So you got to be very slow paced at what you do. So that's why we brought in all the extra resources. We will continue to stay in the area. Us, the Sheriff's Department, Rockcastle County Sheriff's Department, will be in this area, make sure the citizens in that community, they feel some kind of sense of security and safety. Just give us time, and hopefully we can resolve this in a timely manner, in a very quick manner. I'm open for any other questions. I hope I answered your question.
How concerned should residents be that there's this guy out there and he's most likely armed?
Well, I mean, you need to lock your doors. You need to, if you have security cameras, make sure you're constantly watching them. Maybe keep your porch lights on. Have communication, have your cell phone, and make sure your phones are charged up, because you never know when you might have to contact somebody or law enforcement. And we want those tips. Like the sheriff said, we want you to call us. Don't care if it's a county over, if it's a Dollar General store, you see somebody walking up down the interstate. We want you to call us, and we're going to answer those calls. No matter if it's a small road, it's a gravel road, it's a creek bed, it's the interstate. We're going to have officers and troopers and deputies in this area until morning breaks.
Do we have any idea how familiar he is with the area?
At this time, I don't know that information. There's a lot of smarter people than me behind the scenes working on things to try to find those answers. If maybe he's been in that area before, and that's technology that I don't know how to use, but we have resources that are trying to help us with that.
Do you know what his motive is yet?
I don't know what his motive is yet. That part is still under investigation by the Sheriff's Department.
To be clear, however, this was at random. He was up there.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
I don't know why anybody would go up there and start shooting at people. I can't get in somebody's brain of why they do something this crazy. But it's an act of violence, and, you know, innocent people have got hurt and property damage as well. And, you know, for the people of Laurel County and Rockcastle County, I know they're at fear, and hopefully, you know, we're going to put it to ease soon.
Sir, there's an array of agencies represented on this platform here. I'm curious, was he on anyone's radar prior to this incident?
Not that I'm aware of, but the sheriff might be able to answer that better than I can. But no.
No, sir. No.
Have you spoken to his family and if you have, what can you share about that?
I have not directly spoke to. That is part of the investigation that at this time we can't discuss, but that we have interviewed family members. The Sheriff's Department has, and they're doing a great job with it.
Are you concerned that you don't have enough manpower to find this guy?
That's not my concern. I think we will have plenty of manpower, and, you know, the state police work in conjunction with the Sheriff's Department. You know, they're getting a break. They need a break. When you're out there and you're away from your families. It's hot, it's cold. You got a lot of emotions going. You're away from your own loved ones. So sometimes you just need to step back, go catch a couple hours sleep, eat, and then get back in the fight. And we're going to take over and help them with that as long as they want us to.
Change your strategy at all tomorrow?
Well, we have people that are a lot smarter than me that do this stuff pretty regularly. And, we will continue to use helicopters and drones, K9s, search teams. We'll bring in fresh troopers, fresh officers from other agencies, and we'll work together to there's a lot of land out there. He explained it earlier like a jungle, but it's also ATV trails. There's trails everywhere back in there where side-by-sides and four-wheelers and trucks go and drive.
You mentioned he purchased this weapon yesterday. At what time was that?
Sheriff, you have to answer that.
I don't have the exact time. We have it. I don't have it with me. It's sometime yesterday morning.
So it was in the morning and then in the afternoon.
That's my understanding. Yes, sir.
And was it just the weapon or was it ammo as well?
It's the weapon and about 1,000 rounds of ammunition, most of which we have recovered.
You guys mentioned that you guys need a break from searching. How do you think he maybe survived out there?
We're still trying to ascertain how much preparation he put into this. We searched his house this evening. We have a lot of stuff from that, a lot of devices that we're going to download, that we're going to crack. We're going to get more information. But we can't rule out the fact that he could have committed suicide back there, and we have not found him yet.
Going back to his military experience, was there like an honorable discharge? Anything you can share about that?
I don't have that information.
The longer he's out there, are you worried about more lasting impacts, like schools are already canceling tomorrow? As more time goes on, he's not found, what could that look like for schools not having class the rest of the week?
I think at some point we're going to do everything we can do to catch this guy or find him. And the longer we continue and the more area we clear and the more places we are sure he is not, the safer people are going to feel. And I'm confident eventually we'll figure it out and we'll find him. But at this point, we're doing everything we can to find him at this point.
You guys mentioned that he may not have been on anyone's radar. Can you just give us some insight? I think he did have some sort of, even if it's a small criminal record, can you share what his record with law enforcement looks like?
It's minimal, my understanding right there.
I ran a statewide criminal history on today. It's very minimal. I think there was a dismissal or two, a traffic ticket. I think a domestic violence within the last 6 months. Is that right? So I think there was a divorce action that was at some point also. There was nothing in his criminal history that made me think, oh, we should have known this was coming. It's just not there, very minimal.
But there was a domestic violence.
If I'm not mistaken, I saw, so it's kind of listed as a D case. If you're looking through court records, there was a D case. It could have been a divorce. For some reason, I wanted to think I saw some type of emergency protective order at some point in time.
One thing that we would like to reiterate to the public in London and Laurel County, as the sheriff has said, is there's multiple agencies on the streets. Not only the London City Police, the Laurel Sheriff's Department. You may see the city police in the county. You may see the county in the city, the state troopers throughout the community. And plus we have other agencies from like Williamsburg, Jackson County that are assisting and helping patrol throughout the normal patrols in the county and in the city. So while we ask people to be vigilant throughout their homes or about their travels, just rest assured too, you have a lot of emergency services that are on the streets tonight, and then we'll be continuing tomorrow as well. As far as the schools, we have been in talks with the superintendents in this area. We will continue to update the school systems as we get it from the Laurel County Sheriff's Office. And of course, their priority is to keep our children safe. So it's going to be according to how the investigation goes leading in tonight and in tomorrow.
Any other questions?
About how many rounds were he shot?
We know we have 12 vehicles hit and multiple rounds in most of those vehicles. And I know from the brass that I saw this morning, 20 to 30 is my best guess, but I didn't count them. So that's about as good as I can do.
Just to clarify, 12 vehicles?
So yeah, what you got to understand is we have the vehicles, the people that were shot were traveling in. There was also vehicles hit that were no one was injured in. And some of those vehicles got all the way home before they realized they had a bullet hole in them. So that number has climbed over the last 24 hours, and we're at about 12 right now.
So 12 vehicles hit by bullets.
Correct.
I also just want to confirm with the number of victims, there's 5 victims with a gunshot and then 2 with car collision. They're injured because of maybe a car wreck with total 7. Is that incorrect?
I know of 5 victims. I know nothing about a car wreck that was unrelated to the shooting.
You guys have anything?
My name is Michael Stansbury. I'm the special agent in charge for the FBI's Louisville field office. I just wanted to come up here and say for a minute that we certainly know that the impact this is having on the community here in Laurel County, that people are afraid right now. They certainly have a right to be. This thing doesn't happen every day. And, you know, when someone's driving down the freeway and the random shots start coming in, it is terrifying. But law enforcement, the FBI, the ATF, and everyone up here is doing everything they can to, one, solve this investigation, to make the case to prove that this individual is the one who, in fact, did this crime, but also to make sure that we apprehend him and get him into custody. And whether that is tomorrow or tonight, tomorrow, or next week, we're not going to stop on this case until we do find him and we take him into custody. I will say that on the FBI's part, what we are here for is to, one, assist the Laurel County Sheriff's Department with the investigation, and 2, also assist the Kentucky State Police with the apprehension. We have essentially 4 types of elements out right now. First and foremost, we have investigators. We do have an office here in London with investigators. Them, and along with our agents from the Lexington office, have been down here and are working side by side with the Laurel County Sheriff's investigators, conducting interviews, collecting evidence, and trying to work as diligently as they can to solve this case. We also have our evidence recovery team that's been helping the Sheriff's Department at the crime scenes recover the evidence, package it, process it, and assisting with the search warrants to make sure we can analyze that and get them everything they need to prosecute this case. And then next, we have a tactical component. Our special weapons and tactics team is out actually working with KSP to try and find this individual. This does take specialized training, special agents and law enforcement officers with the skills and the equipment to traverse this. We just can't put any agent out there walking through the woods and safely trying to apprehend this individual. So we are working hard with that. And then finally, our victim services division is working with the victims that are in the hospitals around the area, working with them and their families, trying to do everything we can to support them. So we will be here until this case is, until, you know, this individual is in custody or he's found. So with that, are there any questions y'all would have for me?
You listed him as a person of interest for quite some time today, but I'm curious, what was the linchpin that kind of tipped this over to basically put him as a suspect?
I think the evidence that we recovered at the scene pretty much locks that down. I don't want to go into, as the sheriff said, of all the evidence that we've collected, because there is a case that if we do catch this individual, the Commonwealth attorney is going to have to prosecute him. So we don't want to obviously try this case in the media, but we do have solid evidence. As the sheriff said, his vehicle was at the scene. A firearm that he purchased yesterday was at the scene. I am confident that his fingerprints will be found on that firearm. His DNA will be found on that firearm. And there is other evidence from, as the sheriff said, witnesses we've talked to about statements he's made and things he said. So we've got the evidence, we believe, to put forth that he did this. So we're pretty confident we have the right individual.
Can you elaborate, what do you mean statements that he
To other people, things he has said to other people.
made?
That-
about wanting to do something?
All I will say, I don't want to go into the detail of exactly what he said. All I will say is statements he's made, interviews people about his state of mind and what he wanted to do. We have interviewed people. We feel pretty confident that this is the individual.
Do you feel like you're dealing with somebody who is willing to stay out in the woods for a while? Is there any indication that, he's an avid camper or
I don't know that, I know the information that we have. I don't know that I would want to just give that all out here right now. Because one is, I think you said earlier, he could be watching this right now, and we certainly don't want to tip our hand on everything that we're doing and everything that we know about him.
do you think that he has communication plans?
It's possible, but I do not know at this time if he has one with him or not. All right, I'll turn it back over to you, Sheriff. Thank you.
I'm Major Eric Walker, Kentucky State Police. Just wanted to reassure everyone that Kentucky State Police, at the request of Sheriff Root, has undertaken the steps to move forward with the manhunt portion of this in conjunction with other tactical resources that we have available through the state and our federal partners. We have a plan in place that we'll execute tomorrow, not to rehash. The citizens of the Commonwealth here in this locale can be assured that state police resources have been brought to bear. There will be routine patrols in the area, and we have brought up, ensured that we've got troops from other post areas brought into the area. So there's adequate manpower to ensure safety in the community. Any questions? Thank you.
Let me clear something up. I misspoke earlier, and I want to make sure you guys have the accurate information. It was a condition of his bond not to have contact with the victim on a terroristic threatening charge. That terroristic threatening charge was dismissed. It was not a domestic violence order. So I misspoke on that. As soon as I stepped back out, I think I missed that. So I want to clear that up. There's no domestic violence order in his past that we can see in Kentucky. If there was a terroristic threatening charge, it was dismissed in Knox County.
Could you give us your name, please?
Say it again.
Your name, please.
My name is Jackie Steele. I'm the Commonwealth Attorney for Laurel and Knox County, 27th Judicial Circuit.
But you learned about the threatened charge through his divorce proceedings.
No, take that part. I know there's issues that they're talking to some people. I don't think they were married. That's when I stepped back. I wanted to check again. So I'm not going to speak as to exactly the territory threatening charge and underlying. I don't know the facts to that. So I'm not going to speak to the facts to it. I do know there was conditions bond not to be in contact with the victim. And that's where I misunderstood and misspoke. Any other questions, guys? For me?
How long ago was the charge dropped?
That would have been Knox, Kansas this year. So give me 1 second. I think it was 3/26/24. Thank you. Jody Albright, the county attorney here, Laurel County.
Yeah, I'm Jody Albright, the Laurel County attorney. I just want to say to the citizens of Laurel County and the surrounding areas, even this morning when we were at church, we saw a state trooper in our parking lot. There is a greatly increased law enforcement presence in Laurel County as we speak presently. I also have, at the UK game, I was at the UK game last night or yesterday afternoon and didn't get to enjoy that game for a couple of reasons, but one was that my phone started blowing up. And it is amazing the outpouring of support from different counties, my fellow county attorneys, Commonwealth attorneys, elected officials. I've had contact from KCO officials who have offered support and wanted me to, when I had a chance, and I'll take that chance right now, to encourage our local law enforcement and to thank them for all that they do. So I want to thank each and every one of you officers and elected officials for all you do in keeping Laurel County safe. I understand that people are afraid. I get that. But there are no finer law enforcement officers and first responders than there are here in Laurel County. And we do need to be vigilant. You need to be constantly on the lookout and until this passes. But
rest assured that everything that can be done is being done. Rest assured that once this individual is captured and taken into custody, that he will be prosecuted. And I have utmost faith in our Commonwealth Attorney, Jackie Steele, and our judicial system that he will be brought to justice and justice will be served. But please understand that what they're talking about, as a young man, as I was out in that area, Cromer Ridge area, it is a vast area. He could be there for a long time. If he's still alive, he could be there for a long time. We don't know. But I have utmost confidence if he is in this area, he will be found and brought to justice. So, and I would also reiterate that if anybody has information, please bring that information forward now. No tip is too small, and please share that. You don't know, that tip may be the tip that solves the case or brings him to justice. So, any questions from, I guess, for myself or Jackie Steele on the legal aspect of this case? All right, good, thanks.
Okay, guys, in closing, I just want to reiterate to the residents of this county that you can see the guys that's representing each agency on this stage and myself that we're doing everything that we can do. And like I say, just be confident. And I want to thank the people for everything from a prayer to we've had lunches, we've had water, we've had phone calls, we've had tips, and that's exactly what we want you to continue to do. But we are out in full force, and I'm confident, as JL said, that this guy will be brought to justice and he will be located soon. And I thank you guys. Thank you.
All right, and that concludes what we assume will be the last news conference of the day. This by far was the most extensive, with several officials from the law enforcement and law community there in Laurel County, state, federal, and local law enforcement. Just going to put my glasses on and so I can read my notes clearly, because a lot of new information came out. Of course, the main thing is they have not found the suspect. And I don't know if we can put the graphic up again that shows the suspect. We recently got a much better picture in color of the suspect, Joseph A. Couch, from the Woodbine area. He is the suspect in this. Again, if you've not been tuning in this weekend, just to reiterate a little bit about what happened around exit 49 on Interstate 75 yesterday around 5:30 p.m. It's believed this man, Joseph Couch, started firing an AR-15 at vehicles just driving down the interstate. At last count, 12 vehicles were hit. That's a new number, I believe. It's gone up because they said some people didn't even realize they had been hit until they got home. They estimate 20 to 30 rounds were fired. They don't have an exact number. 5 people were hit by bullets. Amazingly, nobody was killed. The sheriff says he does not believe there will be any fatalities, but there were severe injuries. Again, the shooter used what's believed to be an AR-15 that was located. That weapon has been located, but they still believe, and they say they have information, wouldn't really elaborate, that he could still have a weapon with him. So they're operating on that assumption that he does still have a weapon. There is still no evidence that he has left the area around exit 49. So that's where the search is still concentrating. They've had tips, they've had sightings that he may be in other locations. None of those so far have panned out. So they are operating on the assumption he is still in that area, the exit 49 area, about 8 miles north of London. Now, the ground search, as it was last night, has been called off at dark. That's not to say there is still not a heavy law enforcement presence in that area. There is. They're mainly containing and patrolling that area. They say it's just not safe. That area is rugged terrain, and it's just not safe to be really searching tree by tree, so to speak, at night. Some new information that came out about the suspect, Joseph Couch. He does have a military background that had been rumored but not confirmed, I don't believe. Now it is confirmed he had a military background and is a former member of the National Guard, but the motive for this is still not known. Police say they have interviewed family members. They wouldn't really elaborate about that. They have searched the suspect's house. They also cannot rule out that he has committed suicide, which, of course, sometimes happens after mass shootings like this. The suspect their own life, but of course they haven't found a body, so they're operating on the assumption he still might be out there somewhere. There's nothing in his criminal history. This is from the Commonwealth's Attorney Jackie Steele. He said there is nothing in his criminal history, although there was a little bit there, a terroristic threatening charge that was dismissed. But according to Jackie Steele, nothing that would indicate he was capable of something like this. But they are confident this is the man that did this shooting based on the evidence they found. They wouldn't really elaborate on all of that and who they've talked to specifically and what specific information they have, but they seem very, very confident that this is the man that did this shooting. Again, 12 vehicles hit by, at least 12 vehicles hit by gunfire, and 5 people were shot. As you can see, some of you at the bottom of your screen on air here on WYMT, there are several school closings. We have that list also on the WYMT News app at WYMT.com. Many school districts, just as a precaution, have closed tomorrow. These are mainly schools, of course, in Laurel County and surrounding counties, just out of an abundance of caution. Obviously, a lot of people are very anxious and will be until this man is found alive or dead. We're going to have much more coverage. We'll have a recap of this news conference and the other news of the day related to this manhunt coming up tonight on Mountain News at 11. And of course, we'll be following this story 24/7 on WYMT.com and the WYMT News app. So we'll see you back here at 11. Thanks for joining us. This has been a WYMT Mountain News special report. Good evening.
Yeah. Close this up so you don't have to go that far. What the hell you do?